Hello and welcome to the Hypertrophy Odyssey, chapter 439. It is the third day of the week, aka the Spirit Bomb workout. I'm feeling very good right now, very excited for this workout. But anyways, to the main subject matter for today. When you buy things that you completely forgot about, and then all of a sudden, hey, they're becoming useful again. In today's case, we got the bow tie by Spud Inc., aka the Donnie Thompson bow tie. So the main reason why I wanted to talk about this particular product, but also as well this phenomenon that happens every once in a while where you buy something, then it goes away for a while, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh yeah, I bought this thing before, why don't I use it? You know, that entire aspect of it. But in today's episode, we're going to be looking at this particularly because I bought this. This is for, guess what? Posture, because there have been enough people. There's one guy in particular that I'm looking at right now. I'm looking directly in the camera as I'm talking to you, who likes to talk about my posture. And of course, it isn't good. Let's be 100% real. I can look at it objectively and say, ew. But at the same time, I haven't really done too much to try to fix it. But this was something I bought years ago now at this point, even before I started really working out or taking it seriously or fit me well. This is what is essentially a back brace, so that way your posture will, get straightened out. And this is the heavy duty version. This is the one you're supposed to wear while lifting. So that is why I got it a long time ago, but I stopped using it for a long time, just for a lot of different reasons. One, it's a bitch to get on. We'll get into why I stopped and a few other things later, but I wanted to say that this is going to be part of some other stuff. And as well, this is also a representation of a lot of stuff that I feel like a lot of people end up doing, where they'll buy something with the intent of using it and then never really use it. And then maybe later on, they're going to look at something and think, oh, I should buy this. And then all of a sudden they'll be like, oh, I already have something like this. And it's a very interesting dilemma, or just interesting habit I think a lot of people fall into, mostly because it's like you start something and then you completely forget about it. So it's a very interesting thing, and I wonder why it happens. So in today's episode, we're going to look at this, and a few other things when we get to Mother Base. Alright, so started this day off with 80 press, which is pretty good. But anyways, back to the main subject matter at hand here today. When you buy things and completely forgot that you actually had them, and then remember, oh yeah, I actually have this, when you discover them in random spots. So the main reason why I wanted to discuss this is because this happened to me with the bow tie, which I will give a small review about that right now. It's been okay. I used it for a little while working out, but it definitely made certain movements feel unnatural, like to the point where it just started being painful and not in a good way. So I stopped using it, but I definitely helped a lot with cues, and have probably now started using it when I'm not doing exercise. So something like when I'm walking and casual things like that. I ended up finding out that I got the casual version and not the exercise version, which is honestly kind of crazy because this one's so fucking tight on my armpits. They leave literal marks, and I had some bruises for a little bit there just because of how fucking tight this thing is. And yes, I am the correct size. That's how it's supposed to be. But generally speaking, would I recommend this to everybody? Probably not. I think if you do have shoulder pain, it might help, but I don't regularly have shoulder pain, so it didn't help that much. The posture did help a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And also making sure that I was in the right area when doing stuff, it did actually kind of help that in that sense. But also, I wouldn't recommend it for everybody. It's definitely not everybody needs it who has maybe terrible posture, but still a very useful tool to have in the arsenal nonetheless, and relatively cheap. It was like $50, so nothing too crazy, but definitely get the strap to help you put it on, because holy shit, is it a fucking pain and a half to keep it on. It really fucking sucks. That's the only thing that really does suck about it, is that keeping it still or on you while moving is really, really tough. But besides that, to go back to the main subject in a way, when you buy shit, and this is one of the examples that I have of things that I've bought over the years that have just been a small experiment, maybe for like a month or three, and then completely forgotten about. And this was for me there. I had that on the wall of my room for for years, literally years. I think I bought it in 2021, and I just haven't used it because I was like, it just stopped being an object of use and more just a decoration. And I think that that's what happens a lot of the times with certain things, where instead of it becoming the main thing that it's supposed to be, it becomes a decoration or a piece in order for your clothes to fit on. That's the big one that a lot of gym equipment end up becoming, clothing racks, and things like that. There's like a meme about that in its entirety when it comes to gym equipment, in particular like
like treadmills and things like that. They just end up becoming a place to hang clothes and put shit on, that entire idea. And it sucks because this happens quite a bit. It's not a phenomena that people are immune to. I think that mostly it affects people that have the consumerist mindset, the shiny key syndrome, shiny toy syndrome, where they just see the next thing and they have to consume it or take it over and, move on to the next thing before they can actually actualize it. I think that I've focused myself enough to make it so whenever I make a purchase, I try to make sure that I get my money's worth out of that purchase. For example, this camera, I remember a long time ago, I thought that every use that I made out of it, every video that I made was $1 per use, That's how I would justify it. And right now, I'm actually getting close to the price where each video would be about $1. So I think it was like $600 when I bought this camera. So when I get to episode 600 something, whatever taxes included, and we'll get to that mark where each video will have costed me $1 in essence, not necessarily truly, but that's how I think of it as. And I think that thinking of those types of things like that, where, like the home gym, how much money it's saving me in the long run by not having to do like the gym membership, and also, the one-time purchase, which sucks, but then all of a sudden is slowly paying itself off, I think is the entire point. I think that most of the time people don't really think in this way. They'll just see the thing and then move on. I think when it comes to that too, it's the worst whenever you find something, you buy it, forget about it, and then see the version 2.0 out and about where you're like, fuck me, the better version of what I already have that I completely forgot and never really used is now out. So that means that an older version of something, but also a possibly worse version of something. So then it makes you even want to use it even less, even though sometimes it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Sometimes the older versions are better, depending, of course. But something like that could be something as simple as the Game Boy Advance versus the Game Boy Advance SP. The SP was superior in most aspects of it. The only thing that it wasn't was hand feel, but really, you could really get used to it, the SP, after a while. So it's not that huge of a deal. I think this mostly common factor happens the most out of anything else is with food. I think we can agree that sometimes you buy shit and you forget you have this food. I think that that's the most common one that a lot of people end up doing, where they'll end up buying the same item or a similar item and forgetting that they had it, and then realizing, oh, I had this all along. Oh, it expired 3 months ago, and that seems like such a common thing. Thankfully, that's something I've gotten away from personally, but it is such a common trope that I don't think anybody's really immune to that idea or just thing to happen. Hell, things expire all the time that I completely forget about. So those always suck because then it's just money wasted.
And we're back. Welcome to the workout debriefing. Exercises not filmed, non-exercises skipped, also none. Got everything in, thankfully. But anyways, back to the main subject matter for today. Buying things that you forgot you had. Or using things that you forgot you had. There you go. / review of the Donnie Thompson bow tie. But anyways, the main reason why I want to discuss this is because I saw it on the wall because I had it on a hook in my room and I completely forgot about it. I used to use it all the time, just sitting there chilling. I didn't get the casual version. Hopefully by the time I do the voiceover, I will have gotten that and talked about it at least a little bit. But now I am trying to use that for each workout, at least from now on, just so I can make sure that the back gets much better than it is in the current state. It was a bitch today. My armpits kind of hurt like fucking crazy right now, and I have an insane forearm pump, but it is what it is. It's just one of those things that I'm just going to have to deal with and kind of curve into, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a thing that I'm going to have to deal with. But generally speaking, this is the entire scenario of stuff like that happens, I feel like a lot to people because we are so, I wouldn't say ADHD brained because that's a little gay and I don't like using that terminology, but I think that basically the issue is that we are too bombarded by things all the time. The shiny toy syndrome, where we will forget many of the things that are in front of us. Instead, we will move on to the next thing and then keep doing that over and over again, and then completely forget until we either circle back or never get to it. It just collects dust somewhere, and all of a sudden, maybe years later, we realize, oh, I had this thing, I could use it now, but now all of a sudden it's out of date, or it sucks, you know, I got the shit version of X, Y, or Z. So I do think this happens quite a bit to quite a bit of people. I don't think that this is a unique thing to happen to me, but I want to know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Please let me know if you have any item that you completely forgot about. And if right now, if you don't have any item, look around, you might have an item. You never know. But please let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video with anybody who may or may not like it. I will be back on tomorrow with a new video. Thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Keep it heavy, stay safe out there, and stay warm. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.